Good day, good evening to all that find themselves in front of this transcript. My name is Kuma Bwete from Ikara in Costa Rica. We are an extension of God's Universal Village in Gabon, NZIAMBE. And today I want to have a very, very important conversation in and around Bwete for the Babongo tradition, the originators of the tradition, and therefore what we experience in the other branches of Bwete today is but a watered down or deviant form from the original Dusumba ancestral worship and then the genius form of Myobe via the Babongo tradition, intersecting with the Sogos and introducing the properties of Bwete, the spiritual aspects and spirituality as a whole, which isn't religion, but it is one thing, everything encompassed under one common ancestry. So the talk is highly important here. Today we are experiencing what Bwete isn't. So I'm going to explain this, and I want people to really listen to this, because the true teaching of Bwete is complete knowledge of God Himself. It is the individual's sovereignty that comes first, and nothing else can be in the way of that. And to achieve that, we need to have the realization, and this is why we have Bwete, the study of Bwete, and why it's so complex and why it's life-lasting in terms of its duration. You never stop learning it. Bwete is a wholeness, and it demands, through the use of iboga and the various other pharmacopoeia, that the individual adapts what the messages are from iboga and what they are through the process of Bwete. And that is wholeness. For the individual to become sovereign, they first must know, without contradiction, that they are everything that they perceive, all of it, right down from the cell in a frog's eye, all the way up to the neighbor next door, all your creation. So I start with this. When we have the current offerings in place through retreat centers and things to do with Bwete, and then you have someone coming along and selling initiations in Bwete to profit, you are and have already destroyed the teaching of Bwete. And I'll explain. If we have a slave and master mentality, so you're paying to achieve something with an agenda, so you can then go and sell iboga or put iboga in someone's mouth or tell everyone that you are initiate of some sort. If this is the purpose, you've undermined the teaching, because you have a slave-master relationship, which means that's not you individually doing that. The actual interaction involving a monetary exchange completely renders this outside of the realm of Bwete. So if anyone is saying that they can take you to Africa and you can pay and learn and be part of Bwete and then go home, it's complete nonsense and nothing to do with Bwete, period. And all of my brothers and sisters and various other true followers of Bwete will back this up. This is what's damaging the culture today. And people are finding they want to make money from this, so they'll start a retreat center. They find that things aren't going so well, so then they resort to the same methodology that yoga has done, where we can sell YTT yoga teacher training. Now it's iboga provider training, which doesn't exist in Bwete. I'll repeat. Provider training has nothing to do with Bwete. It is against Bwete. It undermines the whole complexity and depth and study of the individual to realize God Himself. For you to go and possibly give someone money, and for you to achieve something by paying for it without doing any work, after seeing, and perhaps even not seeing, and you should be imagining that the people there could be studying for 25 years and still haven't achieved the second level from their initial initiation. And somehow you can go and pay and go ahead of someone who spent 25 years sculpting their psychology and their physical interaction with the environment into sovereignty. And you can jump in over the top. You see, this is where you can see where Bwete isn't being understood. That's a delusion. And that's been given to you by the people offering this. And I'm here to preserve the Bwete culture. This is what's destroying the culture and watering it down. The moment we have money involved, and for someone to skip 40 steps in this beautiful process that's 25,000 years old, and it's brought grace, peace, and love, and brotherhood of man, and we're just destroying it. I want everyone not to listen to me. I want you to listen to yourself. Listen to me. I want you to go into it. As many a great sage has, this is not someone putting or purporting something and putting something on someone else. This is about you realizing this. Go into it. Feel this. What would be the purpose of Bwete if this structure, if you could just go and pay and then go to the top of the class? What would be the purpose of these ancient cultures even existing if a Westerner could just come along, pay someone that's running a retreat center $10,000, and then off you go to Gabon? I'm hoping that people will hear this, and I invite them to enter a dialogue with me and ring me about this and talk. People that want to know more, that are interested in sustainability, preservation of culture, appropriation of knowledge, and I can elucidate more. We can assist. But you need to see on the surface. If anyone is saying IBOGA provider, they're instantly not Bwete. So from our perspective, we're very happy for you to sell IBOGA and treat IBOGA, but not use the term Bwete. Not at all. Because it's not. You've broken the rules. Immediately. So I find this really amazing that people are using this identity to profit. It's a disgusting thing. And it disrespects the culture, and it disrespects the brothers and sisters in Gabon who actually have lived and breathed this forever and ever. And it undermines the fact that it puts you in a position of further victimhood. So if you've bought your way, you haven't earned it, and therefore you haven't learnt it, and you haven't learned anything. You've just been given a brushed over system that gets you in and gets you out. You see, when Bwete needs you to do it, it needs action. Bwete is action. So this is non-action. This is reactivity. So you have an agenda. So if you want to come, you see an advertise, I'd love to sell a burger to people. I think I'd be good at that. You've got an agenda. You're trying to fix yourself. You're avoiding yourself. And that's what you're doing. Bwete is not about that. It's about having zero agenda other than you becoming aware that you're everything. And when you truly know that, you wouldn't seek it out. You don't need to. So I implore people to tread lightly when they're coming to IBOGA and Bwete. Ask questions, and not reading and doing research on the internet. That is nothing to do with asking questions. That's just rehashing and doing exactly what I'm saying. Absorbing someone else's information. That's not what we do here with NZIAMBE. This is about you realizing who yourself, because we are promoting the correct, reformed, adjusted, and aligned Renaissance Bwete as it is according to the originators, the Bwete in IBOGA. The truth. These forms that we're seeing now that are selling, the Gonde forms or Sangiria, are all deviant forms of Bwete, period. They copy and rehash all of the material that was originally derived from the Dusumba and the Myobe tradition, period. There's no argument to that, and they know that. They adapt and they put whatever in there, and what they're about is money, period. And if it's about money, you're already lost. That's what we're saying. So please realize that if you want something from Bwete, that it's not about taking or accumulating, it's about you understanding who you are. And when you know who you are, you don't need a system. And therefore, the people that have their cultural identity firmly founded in this can be themselves, and we can let them be themselves. and not introduce a Western neo-colonial plant medicine movement control their environment, which is what is happening. It's complete exploitation. And if people knew what it was like in Gabon, you'd be surprised and perhaps take a different direction. So anytime, period, I'm going to stop at this, anytime you see someone selling initiations into Bwete, in any form of Bwete, they're instantly non-Bwete. Doesn't matter what they say. That is an unacceptable behavior, period. Doesn't matter what it is. It's not allowed. And in Boka and Zambia, we offer the outsider into the system a process of cleansing. And this is to bring light into yourself so you can realize who you are. To come in under the premise we're talking about is not to realize who you are. That's avoiding who you are. That's becoming an agenda. And the person is profiting from your agenda. They love that. You're blind. And they get the accolade. So be very careful. And I say this with love in my heart. I really, really want people to stay true, because true Bwete is about you. Truly what you are. Looking at what you are. Asking deep questions as to why you would want to go and do something like this. Really asking, and look for purity, because if you have anything contrived in that as an answer, you're not ready for Bwete. Bwete doesn't fix. Bwete connects. So that takes realization, and it takes a pure delivery. And that's what we're offering. A pure delivery. Unadulterated. Without agenda. It's about the brotherhood of man. Every single person coming in through Bwete here, Edikara, and in Boka and Zambia, we want them to discover the deep emotional realization that you are what you think, and what you're thinking is everything, and you are everything in turn. Nothing else higher, and that's what Bwete is. You initiate and learn over stages to accumulate and become that knowledge. Not accumulate, become that knowledge. To align you with spirit. It doesn't happen from someone selling you something, you paying and going ahead, because it's not a Bwete system. So much love to everyone. Please tread lightly and look towards self first, because from self you'll achieve everything you need to achieve.